The first thing you need to know about my grandfather's house is that he was terrified of the basement. Terrified in a way that made the rest of the family avoid it for decades. 3 days before he died, he pulled my dad aside. "Promise me," he whispered. "Promise me you never open that door, no matter what." We all laughed, but when I inherited the house, of course, I couldn't resist. The house sits at the end of a quiet street. No traffic, no neighbors, just silence. It's the kind of silence that swallows sound whole. Grandpa had lived alone for 30 years, and the basement had never been touched. The door, heavy, metal, chained, bolted, locked with 3 separate locks, scratched into the paint over and over. Do not listen? I called it paranoia. I wish it was just that. It took me 20 minutes to find the keys. Dad refused to come down. He stayed upstairs, pale and quiet. I joked about it, trying to hide the unease in my voice. "Relax, it's probably just old junk." The locks clicked open, each one painfully loud. The door swung open, and the smell hit me. Not mold, not rot, just old air. Air that hadn't moved in decades. The stairs were narrow, steep, and smelled faintly of wet concrete. My phone's flashlight barely reached the bottom. And that's when I noticed it. The walls weren't dusty. They were scratched long, vertical marks, hundreds of them, like something had tried to claw its way out. I muttered to myself, "Rats. Definitely rats." Halfway down, the beam of my flashlight landed on something. A wooden chair in the center of the room, bolted to the concrete floor. The basement was almost empty, except the chair and some old boxes pushed into corners. As I stepped closer, my phone recorded faint audio. Later, when I checked, you could hear something. Slow, heavy breathing. I circled the chair. Scratched into the concrete beneath it were words. "IT pretends." I called upstairs. "Dad, what did Grandpa keep down here?" A pause. Then, "You opened it?" Before I could ask more, the single bulb above flickered, then went out. The flashlight was my only light. That's when I heard it, a soft voice, whispering. "Hello?" I spun. The basement was empty. I backed toward the stairs. "Sweetheart?" It sounded exactly like Grandpa. My blood ran cold. I ran upstairs. Dad was waiting at the top, white as a sheet. "It spoke to you, didn't it?" I didn't answer. I just locked the door. The next day, I couldn't stop thinking about the scratches, the chair, the voice. Curiosity gnawed at me. I returned to the basement, this time with gloves, a flashlight, and a camera. I shined the light on the chair. Nothing had moved. Yet, I lifted the seat slightly, and under it, there was a small wooden box. Inside, old letters, photographs, and a key. No label, no explanation. The moment I touched the key, the basement lights flickered violently. A low humming started, like hundreds of voices whispering at once. I backed up toward the stairs, and then the chair moved, slowly, creaking. It wasn't fast, not violent, just deliberate. And from the shadows of the corner, a shape began to form. Tall, thin, and vaguely human, but blurry and dark. A voice, my grandfather's, or at least a perfect imitation, echoed. "Why did you come back?" I stumbled backward. The shape glided forward, stopping just short of the light. Cold air brushed my face. My camera, still recording, captured it just faint enough to blur its features. I realized something terrifying. Grandpa hadn't been afraid of the basement. He was afraid of it, whatever had been trapped down here. And now, it wanted me to know it was free. The whispers grew louder. "Don't leave. Stay." I froze. Every instinct screamed to run, but part of me wanted to understand. I noticed faint scratches along the wall again, this time forming letters. "You hearing me?" I grabbed the key and ran up the stairs. The chair groaned behind me. The shape followed, just beyond the light, silent except for those whispers, almost chanting. I slammed the basement door, locked it with all 3 locks, and bolted it with my own chain. Dad was waiting outside. He didn't say a word. He just looked at the door, then at me. It's awake. That night, I couldn't sleep. The camera footage recorded everything. When I reviewed it, the shape wasn't moving, just sitting in the darkness. Then I noticed the scratches on the walls, slowly changing. They formed one message. I heard you leave, and that's when my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. I'm still here. I don't go near the basement anymore. But sometimes, when the house is quiet, I hear a soft creak, like the chair moving slowly, waiting for me. Subscribe for more